A very good morning to one and all. I welcome you all to this session on Python programming. So today we begin our session with what is Python, what are the features, and why Python is very popular now in industry. So these basic concepts we will discuss today. Yeah. So yeah, let me just this one. So Python is a general purpose programming language. We know what is the definition of Python. Python is a general purpose Python is a general purpose high level interpreted programming language. Yes. So what is general purpose programming language, guys? Yesterday we discussed this. So general purpose means you can develop any type of application, right? Maybe standalone desktop application, or it may be web application. So we can develop any type of application. That's why it is called general purpose programming language. And Python is high level programming language, right? So this Python language, it consists of simple English words and verbs, right? Then it is an interpreted programming language. So to execute this Python program, we need an interpreter. Yes. So it is a translator that converts source code into some target code. Clear? So Python is a general purpose, high level interpreted programming language, guys. Yes. So who developed this Python language? So we should remember that person. This Python language was developed by Python language. It was developed by with that person, Udo van Rossum. Udo van Rossum. He developed this Python programming language in Netherlands. Yes. So the first version of Python, it was released in 1991. Yes. So it is one of the oldest programming language, but now it has become very popular. Why it has become very popular? Now I will explain. Just within a few moments, I will explain this. So the first version, when this first version was released, guys, the first version of Python, it was released in 1991. The first version of Python, it was released in 1991. So now we have Python 3.10x, right? That is one type of convention to describe the versions of Python. So we have an official website for Python, right? So python.org. So first let us type. You can click on this link, www.python.org. This is the official website of Python, guys, right? So you can see this is the Python free download software. It is available. So you can check what are the versions available, right? So various downloads are available here, documentation, community. So this is the official website of Python, guys. So this is a free software. You can download it. Okay. So what is the version? 3.10.5, right? Generally, this is the convention used in IT industry. They don't say 0, right? 3.10.5. That is the current version of Python, which is available in 2022. Yes. So the first version, it was released in 1991, guys, right? 1991. So this is an open source software. Python is an open source. Python is an open source software, guys. So open source means the source code also available. You can contribute, right? You can develop some libraries. You can contribute to the society, right? So that's why it is called open source software. And there is no license required to download this software. License is not required, and free of cost you can download it, and you can also contribute to that. That is called a open source software, guys. Understand? There are I think Linux, yes, that is also open source, right? So open source means first no license is required to use that one, as well as free of cost you can download it, and as well as you can make your contribution, right? So that is called an open source software, guys. So your Python is also an open source software, right? So what is the official website of Python? Official website of Python, www.python.org, right? It is a non-profitable organization, and they provide this Python software, right? So this is the basic introduction to Python, guys. So Python is a programming language, and it is an high-level programming language, and this is an interpreted basic programming language, and as well as it is a general purpose programming language, right? So developed by Judo von Rossum, and the first version, it was made available to the public in 1991, guys, right? Which one is first, Python or Java, guys? When Java first version, it was made available to the public, I think it is 1995, right? Yeah, but Python, it was made available to the public in 1991, right? Okay. So this is the basic brief introduction about the Python programming language, right? Then why Python is popular? So that we need to understand, guys. So what made Python unique in the industry? Why should we learn Python, right? So those are called features of Python. Those are called features of Python. What are the unique features of Python programming language, guys? Right? When they developed this programming language, Judo von Rossum, he has given this particular description about the programming language. This programming language, it has this type of features, right? What are the features of Python? There are many features, guys. I discuss very important features, right? Very important features that why Python is unique, right? So first one is it is very simple to learn and easy to implement. This is the first feature. Simple to learn and easy to implement, guys, right? Simple to learn and easy to implement. Easy to implement, right? So any programming language, if it is very hard to learn, then what happens, guys? It takes a lot of time to learn the language, as well as very difficult to develop the applications and all, right? But Python is very simple language. At the same time, it is very powerful language. That's what it is different from Java, guys. Understand? First thing is it is simple, and as well as at the same time, it is very, very powerful, right? That's what one of the unique features of Python, guys. It is very simple to learn because its syntax is very, very easy, and it is easy to implement, right? So the code, the number of lines of code, very less compared to any other programming language. You may name it as C or Java or .NET or any programming language. So if you solve one particular programming problem using other languages and you try with Python, guys, right? Then Python language implementation, it takes less number of lines of code. That is one of the unique feature of Python. Obviously, industry needs that, right? Because lines of code, it is directly proportional to the project cost, right? So that's why it is simple to learn and easy to implement, so that industry, it is now looking for this Python developers and all. Understood? This is the very first and very important feature, guys. Okay. It is a programmer friendly and very easy language. Programmer friendly. It is a programmer friendly language. It uses very simple syntax, right? So it is a programmer friendly language. So programmer can easily learn it. The syntax is very, very simple, guys, comparing to other programming languages, right? So this is the first important feature of Python. That's why many people, they are learning this Python and taking transition into this particular job roles. That is the reason. Yes. That's why it is widely used to solve very complex programming problems, right? You may take AI, machine learning, artificial intelligence. You know, artificial intelligence algorithms are very, very complex, guys. Okay. So to implement that algorithms, you need to write a very complex logics. If you use Python, then it is simple to write those logics. That's why Python is chosen for artificial intelligence, machine learning application. That is the reason. Yes. So what is the second important feature, guys? Object-oriented programming language. Object-oriented programming language. Object-oriented programming language, guys. Right? So here, what is this object-oriented programming language? Orientation means, you know, what is the meaning of this one? Object-oriented programming language. We are trying to solve any problem using the concepts of objects and classes, right? That's why it is called as object-oriented programming language. Orientation means the way you think. That is called orientation. Yes. For example, a programming problem is given. Some problem is given to you to solve it. Then always we start thinking, what type of objects I should create, what type of classes I need to use. The approach, the way you are thinking to solve the problem, that is in terms of objects. That's why this language is known as object-oriented programming language, guys. Understood? So it supports the features of object-oriented programming language. What are the important features of object-oriented programming language, guys? Classes, objects, inheritance, polymorphism. These are the different concepts of hoops. So Python programming language, it supports all these concepts you can implement in Python, right? So that's why Python, we can say that it is an object-oriented programming language, guys. You know, what are the benefits of this using this object-oriented programming languages? Yesterday I discussed. First one is data security. Second one is you can manage the code complexity, guys. That's why we prefer the object-oriented programming languages, right? Okay. So Python supports object-oriented programming features. Object-oriented features, guys. Object-oriented features like classes, objects, right? Inheritance, classes, objects, inheritance, etc. Clear? So first one, it is simple to learn and easy to implement. Then what happens, guys? The project time, it takes less time, right? Then object-oriented programming language, it supports these concepts like classes, objects, inheritance, polymorphism, like that. It supports all these concepts, right? Okay. Next one, platform independent language, guys. Platform independent language. It is one of the most important feature, guys. Platform independent language. So what is a platform in computer science, guys? Yesterday I talked about all these basic concepts. Just you recollect. Platform independent language. Platform means a particular operating system plus hardware is called as a platform, right? We are all in the internet era. So we are all connected through internet, right? So any application that should run on internet environment, then only that application it can be used by all the people. Yes. So all the internet, those devices which are connected to the internet, or the systems connected to the internet, they may have different specifications, right? I may be using Windows operating system, you may be using Linux operating system, somebody may using some other operating system, right? The system specifications are they are different, and we are all connected through a network that is called internet, right? So I develop one application in my environment. Environment means that particular operating system and architecture, that is an environment. So now I am developing a particular application at one end, and that application should run at some other endpoint, right? Then your programming language, it must be platform independent, right? So you can develop that application on any platform, and you can run that application on any other platform, guys, right? So that is called platform independent language, right? So this Python programming language, it is a platform independent programming language. You can develop on Windows machine and you can run it on any other machine, right? So somewhat like this, guys. You can see what is this platform independence. It is very, very important and very, very powerful feature, guys. Understand? So here you are writing one Python program. You are writing a Python program. So if you write any program of without violating the syntax rules of the programming language, we call that particular program as source program. Understand, guys? For example, you are writing a program without violating the syntax rules of Java language. That is called Java source file. Understood, guys? If you are writing a program is nothing but set of instructions to solve a particular problem. Yes. If you are writing a Python program without violating the syntax rules of Python language, then that is called Python source file. Understand? Every source file, it has some specific extension. Okay. So for example, I write one program, let us say sample.py. So here every Python source file, it has .py as the extension, guys. Understand? And one more thing I will tell you, every Python source file, it is called a module in Python. Anyway, we have a separate session on that, modules and packages I will discuss. But let us please understand. So Python source file, we call it as a module. Okay. So this is a Python file. This is called source file. What do we call it, guys? Source file, Python source file, right? So you can write this Python source code in any IDE, right? You can use PyCharm, VS Code. These are all very, very popular, guys. One is the PyCharm, second one is the VS Code. Generally in real time, in industry, we use VS Code generally. Okay. Now, you have written this Python code, right? This Python code, it is a high-level language. It consists of simple English words and verbs. Am I right? Simple English words and verbs. So, but your machine, it cannot understand that. That's why you need a translator. Here we use the Python interpreter, right? So now we use an interpreter here that is called Python interpreter, right? So this source file, you can write this source code on any machine, guys. You may use any type of IDE. You can write the Python source file on any machine, right? But you want to execute that code on different platforms. Let us suppose this is Windows platform. Here I have one Windows PC, right? This is a Wintel platform, guys. In technical terms, we call it as Wintel. We have a Windows machine plus Intel processor, right? Simply I can write, this is a Windows operating system. This environment is Windows environment. Yes. Here we have another environment, which is Linux environment. Yes, this is our Linux environment, guys, right? Next, here you have another environment, which is Apple Mac. These are the popular. There are many other ways also. Just I consider these three. Yes. So there are three different environments you have. One is the Windows, second one is the Linux, third one is the Mac OS, right? So now you have a Python file. You have written this Python code. Now you want to execute this Python file on Windows as well as on Linux as well as on the Mac, right? So how can you run this particular application on various platforms, guys? That is what platform independence. Am I right? Platform independence. And we can say this is also architectural neutral. That means in Windows machine, there may be a different architecture here. What is an architecture, guys? Yesterday I discussed it. These are all very important basic terminologies. Architecture means what is the processor, what is the bus width, right? This all comes under instruction set. This comes under the architecture only, right? So you have three different architectures here, different platforms here, okay? And you have only one source file, guys. How do you run this particular code? Yes. So first, this Python source file that is converted into an intermediate code that is called bytecode, guys. Understand? This Python source file, first it gets converted into an intermediate code that is called bytecode. Understand? That is called as bytecode. So to convert this source file into bytecode, we need one software, right? We need a converter. What is the converter, guys? That is nothing but Python virtual machine. What is that, guys? Python virtual machine. These virtual machines are specific to one particular operating system, guys. Understand? Your Python language is platform independent, yes, but the virtual machine, that is platform dependent, guys. Understand? The virtual machine for Python virtual machine for Windows, it is different. Python virtual machine for Linux, this is different. Python virtual machine for Mac, this is different, guys. Understand? Yes. Let me write. This is the Python virtual machine, which is compatible with Windows, right? Windows specific Python virtual machine, guys. This is the virtual machine specific to which operating system? Linux operating system, right? This is for Linux. Linux specific Python virtual machine, guys. Yes. And this one is Windows specific Python virtual machine, guys. These virtual machines are platform dependent. Don't get confusion. But your Python programming language is platform independent, guys. Understand? Mac, this particular virtual machine specific to the Mac OS. Understood, guys? Can you give some conclusions? Python programming language, is it platform dependent or platform independent, guys? Platform independent only. Python virtual machine, is it platform dependent or platform independent? Yes, guys, you can respond. So that is platform dependent, guys. Understand? Because why it is platform dependent? Can anybody answer why it is platform dependent, guys? This virtual machine, what happens internally? Why it is dependent? Yes. Understand, guys? Here this Python virtual machine is there. First, it is an interpreter, right? It reads each instruction from the source file. For example, let me take one Python source file, guys. What is the structure of this Python source file? So this is my sample.py. So sorry. Here we have a Python file that is called Python source file here. Python source file, right? This Python source file, what is the name of this file, guys? This name of the file is sample.py. So this is a program, right? A program is nothing but set of instructions. Am I right? A program is nothing but a set of instructions. So here you have some number of instructions in this file. First instruction is what, guys? I0, because in computer science, the counting starts from 0, guys. Understand? I0, I1, I2, and ... so on, IK. There are I0 to IK. There are some number of instructions in this particular program. Now, how this interpreter it works? Let us go somewhat more details into this virtual machine, guys. Right now, you check it. This Python virtual machine first reads the instruction number 0, guys. It could be any instruction. It could be any instruction. First, it opens this file sample.py. It reads the first instruction, guys. I0. Right now, tell me, this Python virtual machine, this is specific to which operating system, guys? Windows operating system. Right? Then what it does? First, it is a interpreter, right? There are several phases in an interpreter, guys. It will check syntax errors, semantic errors, construction of parse tree and all. There are several phases inside that particular interpreter. Understand? So first it reads this instruction I0, then it will check syntax errors and all, right? If it is according to the syntax rules of Python language, then what it does? It converts this instruction into bytecode, guys, right? And it will communicate with this particular local operating system. Understand? This Python virtual machine, it is specific to Windows operating system. That's why it can able to, it is able to communicate with the Windows operating system. Understood, guys? First, it converts this I0 into bytecode. Then it will communicate with this operating system Windows, and it will execute that particular statement. Actually, ultimately, your operating system, it should execute that one. It should provide that environment for execution. Understand, guys? Okay. Then what is the role of this PVM? It reads this instruction and it will check for all syntax errors and all. It will communicate with the local operating system for and your local operating system that will execute that particular code. Understand? Once I0, that execution is finished, then what it will do? Again, it reads I1, right? Then again, it will check the, it checks this particular error, syntax errors and all. If there is no syntax error, then it will communicate with the local operating system. It will, then local OS will execute that particular instruction. Here, what is happening, guys? Every time it is reading one instruction, it will check for all the syntax errors and all, and it will communicate with the local operating system. Then local operating system will execute that particular statement. Instruction by instruction, instruction by instruction, it is doing the task. Am I right? For example, there is some error at instruction 1. Then what happens? It will stop execution for the statements, guys. That is what the interpreter functionality. Understood? That's how interpreter is working. That's why interpreter is somewhat slow, because instruction by instruction, it is doing all these steps. Am I right? First fetching, first reading the instruction, then check the syntax errors, communicate with the local operating system, local operating system, it has to execute it. Then again, read the second instruction, again do the same process, right? That's why interpreters are slow compared to the compilers, guys. Are you clear, guys? Yes. Now, so this is specific to Windows machine. For example, you have written this source code. You want to execute on Windows machine. Then what you will do? Just install this Windows specific Python virtual machine, guys. This is called as Python interpreter. Understand? This is called as what, guys? Python interpreter. Where can you get this Python interpreter, guys? This Python interpreter, you can get it from here, from python.org. Understood? Now you can see here you have different downloads are available for this Python, guys. For example, you are using Linux. On my PC here, I am using Windows. So now you just go to the downloads. You can see all releases. You can see source code, Windows, Mac, other platforms. Can you see this? So if you just point this menu, you are getting these many operating. You can see Windows operating system, Mac OS, yes, other platforms. Okay, other than Windows and Mac, other platforms you can select. So here, what you are going to download in this from this menu, guys. For example, if I click on Windows, you will get all the Python releases, guys, for Windows. If you click on Mac, let us suppose your operating system is Mac, right? Now you see Python releases for what? What operating system? Mac OS. Understood, guys? You click on Windows, you are getting Python releases for Windows, guys. What are all these Python releases? This is nothing but your Python interpreter. Understood, guys? For example, if your machine is Windows machine, right? You have to download only this particular interpreter. That is for Windows. Understand? For example, any other operating system, you click on other platforms, guys. Right? You can see what are the other platforms. They are all available. iPad OS, RISC, Solaris, VMS, right? Linux, alternative packages for Linux. Yes. So this is what the Python interpreter. Where can you get this Python interpreter, guys? www.python.org. From here, whatever you are downloading, right? That is nothing but your Python interpreter. Got it, guys? Any questions? That's why you have different types of interpreters you can download. Yes, and you can install it. Then you can run the Python application in your system, right? So this is what platform independent programming language, guys. I hope you are clear. So it is a very, very important feature. So architectural neutral as well as platform independent, guys. Here, what type of architecture you are using? For example, this is maybe i3 processor you are using. Okay. Maybe later on, for your according to your requirement, you are upgrading the system with more powerful processors and all RAM, right? Do you have to make any changes in the code? Nothing required, right? You may change the specification of the system. It is required also, you know. Your application complexity is increasing. Obviously, you should upgrade it, guys, right? Then you no need to do any modifications in the application. Automatically, it will run, right? That's what architecture neutral. It is neutral to the architecture, as well as it is independent of this particular platforms, guys. That is called platform independent programming language, right, guys? I hope it's clear. So this is a platform independent programming language, right? So what is platform independent? Can you conclude this one? We can develop any application because it is a general purpose programming language, right? That means you can develop any type of applications using Python on one platform, and we can run it. We can run this Python code on any platform, guys, right? For example, in our coming sessions, what I do, I give demo, I execute some code, I will share that file. Can you execute that at your end or not? You can do that. Am I right? Because I will tell you what is the procedure, how to download this Python software and all, so that you can also do that. You can download it according to your specification, and you can run my Python source file. Am I right or wrong? Yes, that's what the platform independency, right? That's what platform independency, right? Any questions? You can type in the chat. I will answer. Then it is very expressive language, guys. Next feature is expressive language, right? Expressive language, guys. So Python code anyone can understand, guys, right? That is called very expressive language. So Python code is easily understandable. Easily understandable, right? That's why it is called as very expressive language, guys. That's why it is called as very expressive language. So these are the important features of Python programming language, guys. There are many other features, but these are the most important features of Python, right? If you wish, you want to get to know more features, just Google it. That is your self-learning activity, right? I told you that I will discuss some concepts. I will use some self-learning. That depends on your interest, guys, right? So these are the features of Python for simple to learn and easy to implement, and object-oriented programming language, as well as it is platform independent language, and as well as it is an expressive language, guys. These are some of the technical things about the features of Python, guys. All of you clear with this? I hope you are clear with this. Yes. So what type of applications you can develop with Python, guys? Let me brief this one. Python is a general purpose language, right? So Python is used in many applications development, right? Python is used in many applications, right? Many applications. So I will give you some of those applications. First one is GUI applications. GUI applications, standalone applications, guys. Standalone applications means what? The applications are specific to one particular machine on which they are running. Those are called standalone applications, right? So those are also GUI based applications. You can develop. There is one library called Tinker. You can use it. You can create the components of graphical user interface. For example, radio buttons, check buttons, text fields. You can create all those components. Those are called GUI components. So you can develop GUI based applications using Python, guys, right? This is the simplest application. These are the simple applications, guys. You can develop using the Python language. Yes. Here. Next one is web applications. Web-based applications you can develop using Python, right? Web applications are client-server applications, guys. So generally, your web browser is the client. It sends the request to the server, and server it generate the response. It may generate the response one resource, right? Those are called web applications. Web applications are very popular, and every one of us we are using web applications, right? Web-based applications like WhatsApp, Gmail, everything that is a web application, right? Web or distributed applications, you can say. So here to develop the web applications, we need some server-side logics, right? Server-side coding or server-side scripting is required. For that, there are some libraries are available in Python, guys. One of the popular is Django framework, right? There are different frameworks, various frameworks. They are available for developing web applications using Python, guys, right? As a full stack developer, you need to learn those frameworks, guys, right? This is the second type of applications you can develop using Python language, guys. All of you clear, I hope, right? Next, some scientific applications. Scientific applications. Actually, Python is more popular for this, guys. Machine learning, implementation of artificial intelligence algorithms, right? And implementation of machine learning algorithms, right? Data analysis. So we are using this Python, guys. Actually, Python is being used by many scientists in data science and AI research scientists. They are using widely. Why? The reason is scientists are more focused towards research, guys. They won't afford their time on learning the syntax, very hard programming language and all. That's why what they do is they need a simple programming language as well as they need a very powerful programming language, guys. Python is the best choice, right? That's why in industry Python, more than 70% of the companies they are using Python for machine learning, deep learning applications, NLP, right? That's why Python is the very popular one for machine learning, data science applications and all, right? There are other types of applications also there, gaming and all, mobile apps also you can develop. That you can do the self-study. I have discussed only important applications you can develop. GUI, web-based applications, scientific applications you can develop using Python, guys. Right? Now let us see what is the downloading procedure for Python. How to download this one. I will just give a quick idea. Downloading, right? So yeah. So first open this, download Python. Open your Google search and type download Python, right? So click on the first link, www.python.org. So just click on the first link. Then it takes to this particular page. So home page of Python, it is seen here. Now just click on downloads. Now you select your operating system, guys, right? I hope you know how to check the system specifications, right? Yeah, this PC, in your system, you can check this icon, this PC. Otherwise, here you type in the search, this PC, right? This PC or my PC. So you can see this icon, guys, this PC. On that, right click this one, right click on it. Yes, go to the properties, guys. Go to the properties. Now you can see the system specification, guys. What is the device name? This PC belongs to this particular guy, as well as the processor. Which type of processor you are using? You can see here. So what is the processor you are using? Intel processor, right? And you can see here, system type is 64-bit operating system. This is x64 based processor. Actually, Pentium processors are there. Their family we represent with 8085 family, x64. They represent with x64. So 64-bit operating system. My OS is 64-bit. That's why I need to download 64-bit software only, right? It should match that one. Okay, clear, guys? What is my operating system? You can see Windows, right? Windows. What is this version? Windows 10 Pro, right? Version is 21H2 something, right? So this is my system information, guys, right? Those who are not from computer science and all, you please follow these steps. I think most of you have well acquainted with this installation procedure. So first, right click on it, you check the specification. That means I have to select Windows specific and 64-bit, right? Now click on Windows, because my operating system is Windows. First, click on this. Now you see these guys, releases. What are the releases? Latest Python 3 release 3.10.5, guys. Okay. And in Python 2 also 2.7.18. So, but there is no backward compatibility support. That's why it is not recommended, guys. Always you just install at least 3.9 version. Understand? You install the software which is at least 3.9 version, not less than that. Understand? Okay. Yeah, you can see these are the stable releases. What do you mean by stable release, guys? You know, not only for the softwares, guys, for some libraries. Okay. There is a term called stable release. What is the stable release? Anybody who are in industry? I think you know what is a stable release, non-stable, unstable releases, and stable releases. Any software that is released into the market. So whether that is used by the industry or not, okay. If the people, the industry people, they are using and they felt that that is good, then that is a stable version, guys. Okay. Then everyone they are using that particular version of that particular library or software. Those are the stable versions. That's why when you are downloading any library, right, that must be a stable version only. Understand? So non-stable, it may be some beta versions somebody may try. So they're all non-stable, guys, right? Now you can see all, you can read these node points and all, right? So you can see Python 3.10.5, it cannot be used for on Windows 7 or earlier, right? You can check this PC configuration also first. Okay, guys. Now you can see 32-bit is there, that 64-bit is there. Different, right? Same Windows machine, you may have 32-bit machine or 64-bit machine, right? You have to select the appropriate one, otherwise it won't work, right? Yes, this is the instruction bit length, guys. That's why you should check that one also. Yes. Now I can download this one, Windows installer 64-bit. Download this one, Windows installer 64-bit, guys. This is the one, right? Click on this. Click on it, right? It doesn't occupy much memory. It is a very small, simple. It is a very simple software, right? Now, yeah, it is downloaded, right? Just open that folder where it was downloaded, that location. Just double click on it, guys. You can see 64-bit, right? .exe file, Python 3.10.4 AMD 64.exe. This is your Python interpreter for this particular Windows 64-bit. Got it, guys? This is our platform specific, guys. I just double click on it. It's a very simple software installation procedure, guys. You can do it. So install now. It will install by default under C:, user, that username, app data, programs, Python, and Python 3.1 like that. This is the default directory where your Python is going to be installed, right? Understand? If you wish, you can change it, guys. Custom installation, right? If you want to install this in D drive or something, just choose the custom installation, guys, right? So after installing any these softwares, you have to set the path, set the class path environment variable. If you want to do it automatically, just put a check mark here. Automatically, this Python that will be added to your class path, right? So why we need to set the class path, guys? For example, you have installed this software in C drive, but you are writing programs in D drive. You want to run those Python program from D drive, but actual Python interpreter, it was installed in C drive. So to do that type of thing, we need the path setting. Understand? You may install the Python software in any drive, guys, and you can run any Python program for any drive, from any drive. Okay. For that, you need the class path. Understand? So you can put a check mark, click on install now, right? I think in my PC already it is installed. That's why it is failed. Okay. So this is the very simple procedure to install this Python language. I hope this procedure is clear. You can follow the simple instructions and you can install this Python software in your PC. So once you install that one, just type Python here, guys, right? Then you can see this particular icon, Python 3.10 64-bit like that. Understand? If Python it is successfully installed in your system, then you will get this one, guys, Python 3.10 64 or something, right? Yeah, you can see here. If you double click on it, you will get this prompt. This is called Python shell prompt, guys. Triple greater than symbol. This is called Python shell. Here you can execute any Python statements, guys. Here you can type any Python statements, right? This is the procedure. These are the steps how we install the Python software in our PC, guys, right? So today, this is the basic introduction about the Python, right? So now I will